Greetings, good people. Welcome back to the channel. All right, Wendy Williams. I have come to the realization long ago that Kiss FM Wendy, Hot 97 Wendy, and WBLS Wendy is no more. Okay? Radio Wendy is a thing of the past. Okay? Wendy Williams transitioned from radio to television, and now there's all this talk about podcast Wendy loading, podcast Wendy in progress. Podcast Wendy is on the way. Do I believe it? At first I did, and I thought it might have been a great idea until I saw how seemingly unwell Wendy Williams is. All right? These photos are from the Instagram page, the real Wendy Williams, and the other one, the Wendy Williams Experience podcast. There's two Instagram pages that are dedicated to Wendy and seemingly her official Instagram pages, right? So these photos are very interesting, okay? I know a lot of people under the comments on the Instagram pages were excited. They're cheering Wendy on. And yes, a lot of us want the absolute best for Wendy. We would love to have Wendy in a space of media for as long as the good Lord will allow, right? But we have to be realistic. Unless Wendy Williams is pulling a huge prank on everyone that is watching, when she's out and about looking disheveled, seemingly confused, unless she's pulling a huge prank on everyone, I just don't see the Wendy Williams podcast being a success if it happens. All right. This new manager that she has seems to be helping her with this podcast. But we have seen Wendy Williams in previous interviews and out and about, and she just doesn't seem like herself, the old Wendy, the Wendy that we've grown to love and become accustomed to. Some of her sentence structures are, they don't align up well. She looks startled. She looks confused. Her physical appearance could be due to a multitude of things, but it's just her personality. She just doesn't seem like she's aware of what's going on, and she's in an alternate state of consciousness. I'll put it that way. So although everyone is excited at the thought of the Wendy Williams Experience podcast, and yes, Wendy is kind of going back to her roots. Podcast is like radio, similar to radio. Some people think we want the tea. We want Wendy to spill the tea. We want her to interview guests. People are voting on who should be her first guest. But I don't know if I see this happening. And if it does happen, I don't see it being a success. I really do think that Wendy should remain out of the limelight for a little while until all of her business affairs can be in order. It just comes across as exploitative. She's being exploited is what I'm saying, right? And it doesn't seem like she has a strong team behind her that have her well-being, physical, emotional, mental. It's not their best interests, right? I don't think her well-being is at the forefront of all of this. A lot of people had comments about her physical appearance. You can see in the photos. I just don't know. I don't know. This chair doesn't even fit her personality. It should be a purple chair, in my opinion. That's more on brand. The wardrobe, it just doesn't seem like Wendy. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. We can act like we don't see that things are not right. And yeah, maybe some of us like the false sense of hope, like, Wendy is coming back. Let's be hopeful. But she's unraveling right before our eyes, right in front of our face. She's being exploited. She's being, her rights are being taken away. She's not having access to her funds. Maybe she is not capable of managing her finances on her own. Maybe she is, and this is all a setup. It's just so much going on, and I think that the powers that be, their intention is to confuse the masses that care about Wendy, so that we're all looking around and pointing the finger. First it's her son, then it's her manager, then it's it's the lawyer, it's this person, it's her ex-husband, it's her brother, it's this, you know, have everybody confused so we don't know where to look. But I just don't know if I want Wendy Williams to be on a podcast anymore. The thought of it after her show was kind of coming to an end was a good idea, but the more and more that I see Wendy Williams do interviews or speaking to the public, it just seems like a bad idea. And whoever's pushing for this, obviously, in my opinion, is looking at the money aspect of this. I don't know. I just think what's left of the legacy that she built should be just treated with care. And I don't think that she should be further humiliated and put on display like some kind of circus act, you know? And I'm saying this because, you know, Wendy Williams has a special place in my heart. You know, she's a part of my growing up, you know, and it was good to see her just evolve for so many years. This transition when she got her TV show, that was like the ultimate goal for her. And she had a great run, 13 seasons. You know, she did a lot of big things and she was so happy and everything just seemed so great until it wasn't. So I know a lot of people are, you know, excited about the idea of Wendy Williams having a podcast. And I was too. The thought of it was good. Like, okay, yeah, Wendy should go back to her roots kind of. Podcast, Wendy could handle that. It is what it is. But now I'm having reservations, y'all. I just want Wendy Williams to be taken care of. She has enough money to be able to hire people who can look out for her. But if she's she's being isolated and surrounded by people who don't give a bleep about her, and they've gotten so close to her, this is just a recipe for disaster. So I'm willing to wait or just not have the podcast at all if it means that Wendy Williams will be surrounded by good people who will help her and if she will improve health-wise, you know. I've had enough years of Wendy, and I think I'm okay with her possibly sitting this one out and this never happening, because I don't see how this is going to work. Another theory that I saw on Twitter is that they're trying to push for Wendy Williams's podcast to air wherever that may be airing around the time where Sherri Shepherd's show would air, to kind of sabotage Sherri Shepherd. And I said, that's not far-fetched. Anything is possible, but I don't want to see Wendy getting on camera incoherent, not making any sense, you know, scatterbrained and looking, you know, disheveled and confused. Not for the sake of just having a Wendy Williams podcast. Absolutely, positively not. And another thing is that Debmar Mercury considered her a liability due to health reasons. And news travels fast in the entertainment business, right? So if Debmar Mercury, which is a major production company, is spilling all the beans about how things were behind the scenes, you know, as the brand Wendy Williams and the show started to kind of go down, you don't think that other people are paying attention to that? You know, other networks and companies and things like that, even podcasting companies, radio, you don't think they're paying attention to that? So it's like, where is this podcast supposed to be aired? Is it going to be just like a YouTube show? There's not much information about it, you know, but I do think that this is just kind of like a cover up. Yeah, let's promote this podcast so that we don't really understand or pay attention to what's going on behind the scenes and the people around her doing God knows what. I just think Wendy Williams, just let her relax, let her enjoy the fruits of her labor, and just kind of let her be. I don't want to see this podcast happen. I know that sounds weird, because you kind of want the best for someone, but I just don't think that this podcast is going to be in her best interests. And I don't think it's going to make her look good either. So I don't know. God knows best. I'm going to continue to wish Wendy nothing but the best, wish her son nothing but the best as well. And we'll see what becomes of this, you know, we'll see what becomes of this. But I feel like she definitely needs good people around her. And I'm really hoping and praying that good people or a strong person will intervene and stop this madness, because this is scary to watch. It definitely is scary to watch. And I just don't have a good feeling about it whatsoever. Okay. So you guys let me know if you have been paying attention to the Instagram pages, the Wendy Williams Experience, I think it's called. And the other one is the official Wendy Williams or something like that. Whatever. I'm following both of them. I just can't think of their names right now. Let me know what you think. Have you been reading the comments? Do you think at this stage in the game it's a good idea for Wendy Williams to have a podcast, considering the frame of mind that she appears to be in? Do you think that this is all one big publicity stunt? Am I just in denial and hoping that maybe Wendy is just tricking all of us? Drop down in the comments, share your thoughts, and let me know what you think. I love you for watching. As always, until next time, peace.